Hey collectors, Anthony from Hasbro here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Legacy United Sandstorm. He is a triple changer from the G1 era. You may remember a few years ago that Walmart had a Sandstorm, which was a Scorponok repaint, but this, of course, is G1, not Beast Wars. And what you see in front of him is, of course, his gear on the floor here. We got a box, we have the instructions, we have a don't hurt yourself paper. So remember, don't hurt yourself. But before we get into that, let's take a quick look at the box. And it's the standard leader class box, 3-in-1 for triple changer. Here is his bot form. Here is the breakdown of what he does here. Here's the typical Legacy United panel, I guess. And that's it, pretty much nothing special going on in there. And so the Sandstorm is, I mean, he doesn't seem intuitive. As I always work on these before I obviously do this recording, I like to see if I can figure it out myself, and it is not intuitive. Which doesn't mean it's a bad thing, it just means it took me a little bit more effort to figure it out. So, essentially, I feel like I'm having the same issue a number of other reviewers have had. The chest doesn't clip in. The little pegs back here aren't going in. I don't know how well you can see that. It is just not going in. So there is 3 points of connection. There's these pegs that go into here, the peg that goes into here, a round peg, and then another slotted peg here, and it doesn't stay. It doesn't. So a little disappointing, but it doesn't really impact anything overall. His transformation is pretty much from bot to vehicle to helicopter. I think it's a dune buggy or something like that. Not Beachcomber level, but whatever. The only other complaint then would be the legs. Although they're being good right now because I'm on camera, of course they are. But I was having a problem with them out of box. The legs sliding. Now I'm not quite sure what the default placement should be for the wheels. I put them down here because they add a nice bit of stability. He's a back-heavy boy, and it shows them down here on the box. I don't know, some people might prefer them up. I mean, they come out of the little joint and you can move them around. So, I mean, you have options, but I think for the sake of stability, we just keep them pegged down there. Now, he has a nice foot. Like, it's decently, there, but, again, he just got a lot going on. Before we take a look at him, though, let's look at the accessories a little bit closer. He has a cage, and it does come apart. I was expecting this to be like Ravage cage size from that special pack, but I guess I was expecting too much. Actually, I'm going to keep these separate because it's required for one of the forms. He also has a long-range pistol and a short-range pistol. I guess this would be more of a rifle. This would be more of a pistol. So those, and then of course the wench with a little 5mm plug on it, and so yeah, decent enough. It's like unroll it, and then just spin the bit here to gain it. Okay, so taking a quick look at him before we start messing with him. Just decent. I like the coloring. It's classic Sandstorm. The overall structure is almost purely G1 looking. Some of it kind of reminds me of what am I thinking of? Like some of the Generation stuff. But I think it's a nice capture of it all. So anyway, the first step. This is a reminiscence of the Voyager Seekers, but fold this in, and then this is a double joint. Mine are super tight, and it's really a pain in the butt to get them to go in. Now, the first vehicle mode we are doing is the land mode. The buggy, and there's like a natural transition from one mode to the next, so it works out rather nicely. So this is just going to be flopping around until I put it in place, but I'm not necessarily going to follow along with the instructions say. I'm going to just do my own thing, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to fold up the feet, and see, that's why I didn't want to like do the pegging early, because the instructions actually say peg it together first before we start doing all this stuff, but frankly it's just going to come unpegged anyway. So just T-pose. Okay, so Then we fold these out like this, and then we push the legs in. And of course they come unpegged again. It's going to be a theme. Come on, get in there. Because there's pegs, you know, the connections here and here, and then there's slots, of course, for them to reciprocate into. You want to make sure that you are straight. It's gonna be a jerk about it. There is this piece on the back here that's meant to cover up the top of the heliblade, but when you go into vehicle mode, this has to come out, otherwise you're not going to be able to roll. But you can see it's kind of a high vehicle already, and of course these come undone again. And just make sure you push them up, and they're pretty much like this. So we got to maneuver, basically the head has to disappear. And this is a pain in the butt, because everything is on a joint together. And because what you want to end up with is this piece under here up on top of these pegs. So we were trying to pull all this forward, and then these two bits will plug into the legs here. But while we're pulling this forward, we're also trying to pull out the head bit here so we can fold it under. And you can see that we kind of end up with this. And it's a tight fit. It is on a super tight joint. And the instructions don't prepare you adequately. There's a double joint here, but it's... Come on. It's going to be its own type of jerk. There we go. Got it. And this is what you should get here. And then in theory, if everything's lined up down here, oops, you should be able to close this onto the legs, which also came apart again. You have to make sure you have to clear these areas here, so you might have to stretch it a little bit, which I'm not a huge fan of. Come on. Yeah. Come on. And the legs, of course, turned, so we're off angle. And see if we can get these to do what I want it to do. Now, I did try this before, so this is not my first time converting this, but it seems like it's going to be a jerk about it, because we need these slots here to go into here, and there we go. So we just had to tweak it a little bit, and it lines up perfectly like this. Then the arms, there are these little pegs here that go into, and I know it's black, so you really can't see it, but you position them where this part is sticking out here when you fold this down. And you kind of have to feel for it, and I hate that fact. But once it gets in, it does fill it in rather nicely. And it also helps tell you that you are aligned where you're supposed to be otherwise. So, I mean, at least there's the benefit of that. And that's some nice stability if I can get it to do it. Try not to move the wheels out of place. There we go. So we got the front there. Make sure the wheels are still put into their proper place. Spoiler out of the helicopter fin. And then you can put this bit in here, as you see. Then you can put the cage on top. It just slots in here. The instructions say you can put this then on top of that. And then you can store this under here. And then this plate, I'm not quite sure which way to put it, because this looks like technology. I was like, there's little slots under here. And again, something you can't see. But it does add a little bit of stability right there. And yeah. And again, this piece, if it's down, it messes up the ride. But when you do this, it rolls perfectly fine. It is a nice... I like the tires. They're obviously like soft plastic, so it makes me worry about them in 10, 15 years, but right now that looks pretty fantastic. And the the front end of the cockpit for the helicopter makes it look like nice tail lights. So that actually just does double duty. It's very nice. There's a little bit more gap than I would like in some things, but I mean, this is a heavy boy. This is chunky. So, but it's just, this is kind of weird. I don't know, but because if you do this, Yeah, it just rides it. And so yeah, you have to do this. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's pretty decent looking. Okay, so let's take all of this apart and get to helicopter mode. Let's throw all this stuff over here. So helicopter mode is a continuation of this mode, and we just need to take the parts off here. There we go. And so we got to detach the hands from this piece here and this piece here. It looks kind of like we're doing like a hover mode. These pieces, they quote-unquote latch in here. They're not really good. There's a small tab in the joint. But the goal is that when you fold this over the feet, that you're... oh, see, and that explains how I got the piece mixed up. You're basically trying to get these to not overlap and just basically store. So the instructions are like, well, this one needs to be downwards at an angle, and then this one needs to be upwards at an angle. And you maneuver it however you can get it to fit. I am just obviously not good at it. Because the piece here only goes so far, so you can't move it further than you would like if you were trying to get it to go all the way around. Hopefully that makes sense. But if you get them to straighten out, then they do kind of like this. And the goal is that they're under the wheels for the helicopter mode. Alrighty, so we have to redo the head bit now. So the head gets pulled up, and it gets kind of shoved down here like this. And we're going to fold up the front end here, and it just goes down here. I probably should have done this part first, but eagerness and all. But it doesn't really matter. This is just basically storing away this bottom part. And we want to peg in the arms into the side here. They're just locking them away, again, keeping this piece out of the way. Then we're going to move these arm bits, I mean they're arm bits, but I mean, you know, armatures, I guess, down, move this out of the way, and we're going to flip these out. They're on these nice peg here, which I really appreciate. It keeps it all together, because you see we have this door open on both sides here, so it does a good job of keeping it you know, out of the way. And we want to close these up, and I have a problem with the head just kind of being in the way. Again, I think because something isn't properly pegging, but you know, whatever, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's see if I can pull this up. It's gonna be a jerk about it. Hold on, I was supposed to pull, hold on, there we go, pull this up. There we go. And so here's the thing, this piece here can detach, the whole assembly here, but the goal is to get this to go around and then try to unfold it through here, which allows you to do this, and then you can push this back down, because once you get this down here, it then latches kind of over the top here, supposedly. Hold on, I have to get this back through. There we go. Straighten this out, and then there we go. Close this, and then it latches around this peg here. You can zoom this up, and then we can close that off. And you see where it's going here, although a piece might have come out of place. There we go. So the front end here, it rotates only one way, and you have to get it into place. Same thing with this one. And then close it up. Again, I don't know if it's my particular version of the mold, because these are the front rollers and these are the back rollers, but I'm not having the luck of it, I guess. So anyway, unfold. There's a nice clicky ratchet. It's very soft, but it allows you to do that, which is pretty nifty. Recommendations for this is to plug it in here, and then attach this piece to the cage. which you put the cage together again like this. Very simple. Oops. I should try not to break it because I accidentally broke the one that came with the special kit with Ravage. Anyway, it says the guns, you can throw them on here. And look at that. It's pretty good. And then I'm going to attach the cage. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. Nicely done. Looking forward to the Springer upgrade. They said they're going to make him a chunky boy like this guy here. Definitely a chunky boy. Here's the underneath. Just kind of there. Pikachu, he sees you. I mean, Pikachu. So I dig that. These here, these also spin. So that's pretty neat. So I like it. It's nice to finally have the G1 Sandstorm. I think what we're missing Octone and who else? One of the Autobot triple changers. The name escapes me, and I think we have them all out of this series because they were. I want to say, were they all done in the Prime Wars trilogy? I don't think so. But yeah, was it Sure Shot? No, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's Transformers Legacy United G1 Triple Changer Sandstorm.
With that said, tell me in the comments your thoughts on this item. Did you get it, and how was your experience with it? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.